Hi guys, I'm all set up. This is a pleasant day. We have musicians, string quartets playing. I'm here at 5th Street Public Market selling my book Space at noon today and tomorrow. I will be doing a grow your own mushroom demonstration. And I'm on the second floor. I can see the fountain from under my tent, the big white tent. And I'm kind of like in the middle of the courtyard. So I'm on the second floor. So I'll see you today and tomorrow. Thanks. Much love. Wow, this is so cool. Oh my gosh.
I'm in a sweet spot.
It's super sweet.
And actually, Brian painted this one.
Oh yeah?
Which is cool. Yeah, do you want me to take a picture of you?
Sure, that'd be great. Thank you. Great. Well, hi guys. Our friends. I'm Mandy Cap Mushroom, and I came here billions of years ago on an asteroid. I was encased in ice, just a year spore, and I came to Earth, and I kept mutating, and here we are today talking about panspermia and spreading the spores and education, all of that. And so we're going to learn how to grow your own oyster mushrooms on recycled cardboard. And so it's really simple. You just take any cardboard, corrugated best. What we want to do is remove all of the tape and ink. I wasn't quite that diligent on. We want it to look like this. Ink has heavy metals in it, and so we don't want to ingest that because mushrooms are really good at absorbing the heavy metals and concentrating inside the mushroom. But it's great because it takes it out of the soil. So we love mushrooms for that, but we don't want to eat that, especially when we get to control what we're growing our mushrooms. And so usually what we want to do is boil the water and let that soak, or put it in like an instant pot and bring it up to temp, and that helps with the bacterial load that's going on these. But since we are just doing this for a demonstration today, I skipped that step. We're going to use our imagination today. And so basically you just want the cardboard damp, not dripping wet, but damp. And we're just going to start creating some, these are kind of old oyster mushrooms, but basically we're just going to start pulling them apart and layering them in this cardboard here. So we'll take that and then another piece of cardboard. If it's really wet, we're going to bring it out. Hi, how are you? And we're just going to do that and then just kind of make layers, and we want to pull them apart pretty slow, or pretty small, because we don't want a lot of mass on here, but the mycelium will start to grow on the cardboard. It's kind of that balance between putting enough mushroom on there and putting too much. If you put too much, it can rot. And we don't want that to happen. We want it to start growing before it rots. But if you put too little, then it doesn't have quite enough to get started. It'll just take a really long time for it to grow. And so you kind of do that balance of like, how long are you waiting for it to grow versus putting too much and then it rots. So that's fun with science, isn't it? Okay, so we just keep doing that over and over again. We keep making layers of mushroom bits and cardboard, and we're just doing this. And then at the end, usually I do this whole pot full, and this whole pot will make something about this size. Because it does kind of, it goes down. So basically after we get all the mushrooms going, we're just going to make a little cardboard burrito. And then to prep this bag here, so usually first things first, we skip this step. We want to use isopropyl alcohol on our hands and all our work surface and everything. Not the mushrooms necessarily, but we just want everything else to be clean. So we don't want contamination since we are growing it. And it is science. And so these are all things we already have at home. So you probably have gallon-sized Ziploc bags or any sort of bag. I like the freezer kind because of the plastic being more durable. And then what we're going to do is just take some scissors, and then we have this tape. I got this at any drugstore. It's a breathable athletic medical tape. And so you can pass that around, just kind of see some pictures. I have the brands that I recommend in the book as well. And then all we're doing here is we're taking the bag and we're going to put a little hole in the top smaller than the tape. Ask me how I know that. You don't want to MacGyver a patch. I mean, you can if you want. I don't. And the reason why you do this is because mushrooms are a lot like us. So they, do you know what root inhale? Yeah. And then what do we exhale? CO2. CO2. Perfect, yeah. Carbon dioxide. And so mushrooms do that too. They breathe oxygen just like us, and they exhale CO2, or carbon dioxide, just like us, which is very cool. People think they're plants, but they're more animal than plant. Also, fungi, what differentiates them from plants is they don't have chlorophyll, so they'll never be green because they don't photosynthesize. Anywho. So once we get our burrito in here, we're just going to put it in here, seal it up. We're not going to let all the air out, but just, have some air so it will breathe. And I made this last week. And you see here, I have the mycelium. It's already growing here, taking over the. I'm going to pass that around for you. Welcome to. And yeah, after about 2 weeks or so, that should be completely white at that point. And once that's fully myceliated and fully taken over by the mushroom roots, if you will, you'll start to see little dark pins. And wherever you see those little dark pins, you're going to take some cleaning scissors or a cleaning razor blade, or, let your parents do this. And you're going to find like a nice place where you see like kind of like little dark spots, like little pricks. You're going to want to cut there, just a little incision, not clear across, but just wherever you see those pins, and then put the plastic down. And then you're going to take another like clear bag, spritz that. All the instructions are in here. I also did other YouTubes as well. And you just kind of let it grow and humidity, and those will start popping out after a day or two. Once they're kind of edible, nice size, you're ready to harvest. And once your mushroom block is spent, there's no more mushrooms growing off of it, you can reheat this process. And so you can just make more cardboard, cut up your block, and just do this mycelium burrito again, because it'll have a new food source. You can also redo this in your garden. So if you had a lot of recycled cardboard, chips, like you have wood chips, you can, your mushrooms will digest all of that as well. So you can do that outside. You can do the cold method. There's other chemicals you can buy, tons of YouTube, there's tons of information, but I just wanted to kind of bring the awareness of how fun and easy and accessible this process is to grow your own food with things you already have at home. And so I think that's really fun. Do you guys have any questions? What are your favorite mushrooms?
Me?
Yeah.
How many layers of cardboard?
I don't know. I just filled this pot up here, and then I just kind of cut them to the size that will fit in the pot. That was basically my rhyme and reason. Or whatever size the cardboard tore up, that's what I do. And then I just kind of make it a block size. I mean, you can fill this whole, it's only this size because that's how much cardboard I've made in one batch. You can fill this up, I mean, probably twice as much. Really, the world's your oyster on that one. However much, I mean, people do it in their backyards, in piles, they'll do it in big garbage bins, really whatever you want to grow it in. And we just want to be careful to not be putting these out in the forest, because oyster mushrooms are very fast digested. They would really fast. They all would. They don't care what kind of wood. They eat all the woods. And so we want to be mindful of where we're putting our spores and all of that. Like, think about inside your house as well, where you're growing these. If you have wooden countertops, probably don't grow oyster mushrooms on top of them.
If you get a tree stump you want to get rid of.
Yeah.
There you go.
Probably 2 years. That's probably good. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This
Yeah,
is
you
awesome.
can do the same process with that. You just get some, just the stumps. You don't even have to put this part on when you go to the farmer's market and get your. I mean, you can buy another grower block, honestly. They're pink ones. They're pink ones. So those are beautiful. And that'd be fun. You get started there. You can just peel it off. Eat this part. This is the nice part you want to eat. And then start your mushroom blocks with the stems and types. Do the same thing.
Let's see, we need something I can get a book.
Thank you.